It wasn't quite the frenzy of the Volmatic H&M event last week, but by noon on Monday, there were lines outside the Heuer store on 5th Avenue stretching at least partway down the block, as watch aficionados awaited their first glance at what has been thought of as the first real luxury competitor to the Apple Watch, the Heuer Connected, a Swiss-engineered smartwatch with an Intel chip and a Google platform. The Connected was billed as many things by the men behind it, including Jean-Claude Bivier, Chief Executive of Heuer, Brian Mkrzyniec, Chief Executive of Intel, David Singleton, Vice President of Engineering for Android at Google, and even Bernard Arnault, the Chief Executive and majority shareholder of LVMH Moët Hennessy Louis Vuitton, the conglomerate that owns Heuer, all of whom were present at the official unveiling of the watch, held at LVMH Tower just a few blocks north of the store, and all of whom were wearing the Connected. But I think that's really for a different audience from the Apple Watch. Because, despite the fact that it comes with 3 different faces and a variety of colored straps, it's not a fashion watch. Not even close. And they don't want it to be. Nor is it the gadgeteer's dream. It's something else, a high-end horological accessory that costs $1,500 that is being held up as a symbol of cross-border diplomacy and a savior of a national industry that also happens to do a lot of stuff. Modeled very closely on the carrera, the watch introduced in 1963 and later endorsed by Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio among others, the Connected is unquestionably and unfortunately a man-only watch. With a diameter of 46.2 mm and a width of 12.8 mm, it is enormous, even for a woman who likes a man's watch, and even though it is very light, thanks to a titanium body and black rubber strap. They know this is an issue, and say they're hard at work on a women's version. The giant face does, however, make it easy to read. You can choose to display a timer, alarm and stopwatch, all of which are touch-sensitive. The watch runs on Android Wear, connects via Bluetooth to both Android phones and iPhones, and the interaction is largely swipeable and intuitive, though there is a crown that works with certain apps. It looks kind of like a big round toy, which is good. Also good is that, for the first time in any smartwatch I have seen, the face does not go into sleep blank mode every time you stop waving your arms around. It dims, but the dial is still visibly a dial. This avoids the beam me up, Scully problem. The Connected also does all the basic smartwatch stuff, emails, texts, calls, maps, search, translation, and is waterproof. Mr. Mkrzyniec said that he had been wearing it in the shower and went water skiing, and that when it came to the sport, I fall a lot. It has 4 GB of storage, which means you can download music to the watch, go for a run and leave your phone behind. The battery life is, Mr. Mkrzyniec said, about a day, depending on use. But all that, apparently, is less important than what the watch represents. At the presentation, the functionality of the watch was barely discussed. Rather, the messages that Mr. Bivier and company were hammering home were political and long-term in nature. More than a smartwatch, Mr. Bivier said, the Connected was a marriage between Watch Valley and Silicon Valley, the marriage between Switzerland and America. To emphasize the point, Andries Aller, the Swiss ambassador, was in the room and made a short speech. In the books of 2478, it will say that on November 9, 2015, the Swiss watch industry connected to the future, Mr. Bivier said. Not to overstate the matter or anything. He also said, we are giving birth to eternity in a box. That bit had to do with the fact that consumers who buy the Connected will have the opportunity, after 2 years, to bring it back to the store and trade it in, paying another $1,500 for a mechanical version of the carrera specially made for Connected owners. So they never run the risk of technology advances rendering their watches obsolete. To put this in perspective, a new carrera 39mm costs about $3,150. No computer brand can do that, Mr. Bivier said. They don't have the movements. Okay, so they are a little competitive with Apple. Though arguably the trade-in option slightly undermines TAG's stated belief in the smartwatch. It's a sneaky, and, well, smart, way to attract a new consumer base, men and women, although Tag's consumer base is 70% male who might want to switch between the digital and the analog world. As to how many consumers that might be, or even how many watches they might sell, Mr. Heuer declined to say. Apple does not give numbers, so why should I? He said. We'll know soon enough, I guess. The watch is available in 20 stores across the United States. It will roll out to Japan next week, and to Europe after that. Just in time, you know, for Black Friday and all related holiday buying, if you're so inclined.